where they watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief, offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound, like the freeze that's coming down? Barren space where nothing grows, a secret place where no one goes.
Chaos Springs Eternal is a Delta Green actual play. Delta Green by its nature deals with violent themes, disturbing imagery, and horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you wouldn't mind comprehending some horrors with us, I think you'll have a good time.
Can you feel me in the fall? Pull me from this epilogue. My hands are frozen in the snow. The eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself, rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill, only my soul is left to kill.
Hello, and welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal. This is Season 1, City of Woe.
You should woe yourself now.
And 3, 2, 1, you have permission to woe.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh, good times. Hey, last episode was fun, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned it was going to be a little bit different, and I had an idea of something that was going to be even wilder, but I was like, no, I'm saving that for a later arc.
Oh,
God.
So I decided for the intro to this one, we're doing the memory loss. Memory loss is one of those tropes that I enjoy. Obviously, like Memento is a fantastic movie about memory loss.
Never seen it.
never seen it.
Are you guys just doing this to mess with me?
Or I don't remember seeing it.
No, Memento's great.
I've never seen it. My wife raves about it, but I've never seen it.
But Mark, you watched it with her.
Wait a minute.
That I also think of the original Stalker video game.
Yes.
It has a really good forget who you are storyline.
Yes. Any other bits of media?
BioShock.
BioShock. Oh, of course.
BioShock, yeah. Would you kindly?
Would you kindly?
Yeah.
There has to be another one that like.
No, those were actually the only franchises
Only
that
ones.
ever used memory loss.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's it.
Everything else was time loop.
And we're the number 4.
Yep, and we're number 4. I can't believe we did it.
Yeah, can I be
It's
honest?
finally on the list.
Can I be honest? I was sitting here trying to think of something, and every single one I was like, "That's a time loop. That's a cycle. That's a cycle. That's a time loop. That's a time cycle."
What? Yeah. What is it? Like Shutter? What's that one with DiCaprio? Shutter Island or something like that?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true, but that's like more like mental illness than it is memory loss.
Yeah.
I guess there also is like the Hangover series.
Hey, we should probably put a spoiler alert up front for a few of these.
Okay, Shutter Island came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah. If you haven't watched that yet,
That's on you. And there was
yeah.
a book before, so
Yeah, who read the book though?
I read the book. The book was really good. Yeah,
Dan did.
Before the movie? Before the movie?
way before the movie.
Okay, you're the first person I've ever heard say that.
Nerd.
Well, anyways, so we're breaking ground as the only, there's no memory loss trope in the Bible, so we're really sort of pushing the edge.
Hang on, I'm going to dig into that now. I want to prove you wrong.
There might be some Gnostic text, actually that's kind of the basis of Gnosticism, really. So,
I was gonna say, ooh, it says right here in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
I mean, it is kind of the whole idea of Gnosticism is that you're in a prison planet and you just don't know it, and so you have to like remember kind of the Matrix too, right? The Matrix has some of that theme.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Gnosticism the whole plot of Matrix 1 through 3?
Yeah, I mean, almost exactly, actually. So, anyway, but for our memory loss, you guys sort of had this, sudden awareness as you are listening to this speech from this sort of guest reverend, Elias Goldsmith, the Sweetwater Church, and it's a packed house, and he delivers a message that's definitely, for those of you who attend church normally, Pastor Guidry just sort of gives a reading from the Bible, offers some commentary on it. Sometimes he, relates some personal anecdotes, that sort of thing. This was definitely different, way different than most of the sermons that get preached at the church in Carrefour. So it was strange, but I mean, it was packed too. Not only were the seats packed, the coffers were packed as people turned out their pockets to donate and give to the church. Cyril was in charge of some of the collection, and he ran into Amelia Hartley, who is a archaeologist from New Orleans who came up to come check out the wonders from the cradle of civilization, where she thought she had seen Cyril. She was pretty sure that she had seen him the last night, but Cyril had no memory of that. Joel didn't really remember last night, but he remembered choosing to come to church this morning. He kind of had that, urge for all the things that have happened as late. And Marcy, especially, though, I think was kind of shocked to find herself in the church and had no recollection of the previous evening aside from meeting with Barnabas and deciding to go to the museum and seeing the chalice and then coming to in the church. Who else shall talk to? You talked to Kian and Ivy, and once Marcy sort of had this recollection, she had a little moment where she appeared to lock eyes with the pastor. Then she drove away and drove to Ghlomus, talked with Ghlomus. She had a little chat. Well, y'all all chatted on the phone to sort of touch base and try and figure out who knew what, where you suddenly became very suspicious of Joel. And why he was able to remember the morning.
Yep.
Joel and Kian went and got breakfast. Marcy went to see Ghlomus. She pretended to get cut off in traffic. And Cyril went back to his apartment where he began checking his camera and found out that he had hundreds of pictures of the chalice. And so presumably that means that he was there the night before, but he has no memory of that. So I think, does that cover most of what we wanted to say? Anything else sticking out to you? Ghlomus had mentioned to Marcy that he had translated the text.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How does Cyril react to all these photos?
He looks at them critically to try to figure out what exactly he was doing. And it looks like he was just taking pictures of this chalice from every possible angle. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone in the pictures with the chalice that I can recognize?
Yeah, actually, you see the mayor, you see Detective Marr, you see Marcy, you see Joel, you see Amelia Hartley, who you've just met. You see Luna, Lila, Matilda Green, Kian. Mm-hmm. You see Chelsea Wynn. You see the mayor's wife. You see Clementine. You see pretty much everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they have a list of names that I've just...
And what are they all just staring at the chalice too?
Yeah, anytime that you capture someone in a picture with the chalice, they are not looking at you. They are focused on the chalice.
Okay. He will call Marcy.
Okay.
Marcy, it's Cyril.
I thought we just... Oh, yeah. What's up?
Well, apparently last night I was at that exhibit here in Carrefour. I took over 200 pictures of a golden chalice, and everybody seemed real enamored with this chalice. That's not really my idea of a good time, if you know what I mean, taking pictures of old cups. So something happened last night. Everybody was at that exhibit. I have pictures of basically everyone we know. So did I see Marcy in there at all?
Yeah, you see Marcy and Joel.
So we all were there. All the Phantom Phinders were at that exhibit last night.
Fuck. I'll let you know how my screening goes, but we might want to see if we can get some sort of protection against things controlling us through our sight? Or is it proximity? I don't know quite what's going on there. Should we bring Joel in the loop on this, or you still... Wait, do I know that Joel does like heavy drugs? I presume no.
No.
Okay.
No, nobody knows that.
I mean, Joel did show drugs to y'all yesterday, but I think he did go out of his way to buy the drugs.
He did mention in front of us that he had a dealer, didn't he?
Yeah. So I don't know, but that doesn't necessarily imply that this is something he actively does constantly.
I think the way that I was trying to word it was that it's implied that like this is where Joel gets his weed from, but he also knows the guy sells hard shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, yeah, that seems right.
I know Joel can be a little bit dumb, and maybe that's why he was so easy to influence. But like, maybe we can ambush him and get him checked out too.
Well, you let me know how the spiritual checkout goes.
You're in good with Luna, right? You might be able to talk her into.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did we see Luna there?
At the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luna was at the church, and she was at the exhibit too. Maybe I'll touch base with her and see if she can like shed some light on the situation, what she remembers, and yeah.
I'm a little terrified. We just handled all this shit, and now this happens?
Mm-hmm. Well, I gotta say that it's strange that the museum gets a Cradle of Civilization exhibit, and we're all staring at a golden chalice. And also, we got a preacher in town that's making money hands over fist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if those two things is connected. It seems like they might be, but I don't know. I mean, it could be plausible that they're both different too. But I got to tell you, I've been collecting offerings at that church for almost my whole life. Not very regularly, but I've never seen more than, maybe $1,000 in the offering plate. And today it was like 10 grand.
Ooh.
So something's going on there too. Just, I don't know if it's nefarious or if it's just, poor white people hope. You know what I mean? Like buy the holy water and, coach your grandma and she'll live forever kind of thing. But it could be.
You've done that your entire life.
I mean, I've been at that church my whole life, basically. My parents went there, and then I attend regularly, but it's not something I'm tied to. But I've done the offering a few times.
Okay. I'll let you know how the checkup goes, and we'll make a plan of action. We'll touch base.
Right. That sounds good.
I'll probably get in touch with Joel again and see if he's okay after.
All right.
Because he said he chose to go to church. I don't remember getting a choice.
I don't either. I just remember waking up mid-sermon, it felt like.
Do you think I don't know. And I gotta go.
Marcy, what's the furthest back you can remember? Other than being in church today, what's the next memory?
I was there. I was at the exhibit looking at the chalice. That is it.
Okay, I don't even have that memory. What is my memory, Dan? What is my most recent memory?
So let's see. On Friday night, you had your date with Luna.
Yeah.
I don't know what you chose to do Saturday.
Okay.
Like in the morning time, but I would say you remember lunch, and then it was sometime around lunch that you kind of lose track of things.
All right. Well, I can't remember. I remember lunch on Saturday. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me know how it goes, Mousy, and we'll clue Joel in. And I'll see if I can't get a hold of Luna or something and see what she remembers.
All right. You make your way out to the manor, the Florazon Manor, where Ghlomus is. And as you let yourself in, I assume at this point you're pretty well studied, making your way down the stairs to the place where you just performed that ritual. Ghlomus is sitting at one of the booths that he had to have moved so that he had enough room. He is in his ghoul form, and so he turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, Marcy, there you are. Tell me, are you feeling better, more settled?"
Yes, but some things have been brought to my attention.
Okay, do tell.
Joel feels like he had a choice to go to church, and he chose to. I remember staring at a chalice for a local exhibit that just arrived, and Cyril doesn't even remember going to the exhibit, but he has several, 200 pictures of said chalice and other people seeing that chalice there as well.
This sounds very strange.
I assume I can get you, and she'll describe the chalice as best she remembers. Does this sound like anything to you?
I can't say. There are magic things that might have some ability to affect your memory, I suppose, but cannot say without studying. Perhaps I can tell something from you if I just take a look at your ethereal body. Perhaps might be a little bit easier to tell than your physical body.
Do you have like a magical stethoscope or something? I don't know how this...
No, I just sort of focus on your aura. And so he's going to roll an unnatural roll for this.
As he snaps on a glove.
And now bend over. Oh my gosh, well.
Fuck.
Yeah. He's like, I sense faint magic on you, but I cannot tell you what it means. It perhaps covers its own tracks, or perhaps it was a subtle influence, such that it did not leave a mark on you.
Could it be like an implement someone weaves magic around to force them to go somewhere? And this is going to sound insane. I think we're dealing with a Mesopotamian entity or something that's just some X-Files immortal thing that has found a niche to carve out for itself in modern times. And it's just a get-rich-quick scheme. Are we dealing with Ia Nasur?
I don't know. There are many Mesopotamian entities who are perhaps culpable, but from your description of this chalice, I don't know what it is. But you said you came to at church. Is there anything unusual about church?
Yeah, people were giving a lot of donations. A lot of money was donated to the church. Also, Pastor Elias Goldsmith had mouthed some words to me. In my panic, I didn't understand what they were.
Strange, very strange happenings in Carrefour. I may need to make a visit, but I worry.
Well, don't go to the museum.
Yes, unfortunately, if that is where the magic is, then I do need to go there so I can examine it more closely, but I do not want to risk, if it does have some sort of ability to influence a person's will or intentions, I do not want to risk the getting out, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, like walking out without any clothes on for us, I suppose.
Yes,
for you.
Exactly. My full ass just hanging naked.
Come to think of it, I don't know how they would react while they were under that trance.
I don't know what you mean.
It made us go on autopilot. I don't know if they would react to you, actually, now that I say this.
Oh.
I mean, I suppose they would react in their natural state, but influenced to do whatever. No, they would probably still freak. Never mind. I need to look more into this spiritual guardian stuff to see if I can get it to protect my head from influenced by... I don't know.
I don't know either, Marcy. I'm afraid.
First, there's this fucking fungal bug that was trying to lead me somewhere that I barely remember, and now there's this. I don't lose time like that.
Fungal bug, you say?
It was during the investigation, or the in interview interrogation, where they were asking me about my uncle, and then I remember Cyril and Joel had something go wrong, and then I had some weird bug thing.
This is all very disturbing.
It was a while back. I think it got blown under by everything else that was going on.
Yes, perhaps it relates to some sort of larger arc that you have not yet been able to put together.
No, I'm pretty quick at these things. I think I'd put it together really quick.
Well, you never know.
No, I do know.
Just ask Tyler where it ends.
In fairness, I haven't been able to get much into this one yet. I haven't been able to crack this one on accident.
You've been dealing with crack already.
Ayo.
Yeah, so y'all have a little chat. Any other like questions you want to bring up to him? Anything you want to request of Ghlomus?
Do you think you could check Joel's noggin?
Oh, perhaps I could if he came over here. Sure.
Okay. Do you think you can do it surreptitiously?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Why not?
Cool. And do you need anything while I head out for the next time I come back?
Nope, I am good.
Not even for just. I mean, you don't need to eat, but can you like taste things?
That's extremely rude to ask.
I'm sorry. And she just leaves. A whole box of cupcakes was like in the car, and she was just gonna bring them in, but
damn, I really could go for some cupcakes though. Let's see, Joel. He's had breakfast with Kian. Anything else Joel wants to do? What is Joel gonna do with the rest of his Sunday?
I think
shit into a toilet.
That's later. So I think over breakfast, Joel, after calming down from being hung up on, will kind of think a little bit more about what they brought up about going to the museum the night before, and just try to think about what he did the night before, and nothing comes to him. After finishing his fifth and final burrito, will ask Kian, "Hey, I must have hit something a little hard last night. What was I doing yesterday? I know I had the date with Ivy."
Yeah, I mean, you went to work in the morning?
No, I said last night, not in the morning.
I don't know. I don't really remember what happened. Just like I said, it was just kind of like at church.
You don't remember what you did last night either?
No, not really. I must have gotten really high, though, because normally I can remember stuff. I probably smoked, like, a lot more than normal.
Can I begin to go through my previous phone calls and messages?
Yeah.
And or photos, and be like, and just see, like, trying to hang over it and piece what he did last night back together.
Yeah, like, you don't have any like, phone calls past maybe 3 p.m. You might have a couple texts with Ivy at some point in there, but nothing substantive. It was just like, vague plans for the future type of thing. Does Joel carry a camera very often?
No, just his cell phone.
Yeah, you don't have any like notable cell phone pictures.
Okay,
nothing yesterday night. Anyway,
this feels off. This feels very off. Did you see who all was in that place, man?
In church?
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone was there.
Yeah. Isn't that...
It's pretty full to the brim. Is that how it normally is?
No. Usually it's maybe a fifth to a tenth, depending on if there's a holiday the day before, or, Mardi Gras, Saints games, Dallas games.
Yeah, man.
Things like that.
Yeah, I guess yesterday was just a good day. I don't know. The Lord's Day, I don't know. Maybe things are turning around in the town. We had the hurricane and a tornado, so maybe people are trying to find God.
Yeah. Maybe, but en masse, that's just weird. I'm going to ask you, is this place, does it have like a waitress, or is it like a go up to the counter and order your food kind of a place?
It's actually probably what it is it's a taco truck that has a few tables outside.
Okay. I would like to go back up to the taco truck and buy one of those fizzy grapefruit drinks. What are the Yarritos, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Go up to buy one of those, but really what I'm going up there to do is just ask her or them, whoever's running it, like, what if they've noticed anything weird in the town since, this morning on the outside, if they were on the outside.
The person at the front's like, no, I mean, it's pretty normal. It's been a little slower than normal here, but it's not uncommon on a Sunday morning.
I mean, Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I was just curious. There was just a ton of people at church today.
Oh, yeah. Well, that might explain it. Some of our normal customers are not big churchgoers normally, but went there instead.
I'm sorry. This might be a little forward, but did you go to church today?
No, didn't go to church today.
Do you usually attend the church?
No. We'll make it out to New Orleans if we want to go. We got family out there we occasionally visit.
Strange. Thanks. And he'll get his drink, and he'll tip a couple bucks more than he normally would for just the drink.
They accept it gracefully.
Come back, sit down at the table. I feel like I gotta ask the other two. Kind of talking out loud, but just like sitting in front of Kian.
He just looks and he's like, okay. Whatever makes you happy, man.
Yeah, and he'll, in a chat, especially since we saw Virgil there too, he'll just ask the four of them, just like, hey, so like, what did we do yesterday? Like, just word it exactly like that.
Detective Mar just
send it off to the four of us.
He reacts with a question mark to your thing. It's like, and then a shrugging emoji.
Do the other two say anything?
Cyril will chime in and say, we're trying to figure that out right now. We'll let you know.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't like this.
You should check in with Ghlomus. We'll go with you. We're just worried about something right now.
Nah, I mean, all right, yeah. I mean, he might have something. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He might have something there that will tell us why some people went to church today. Let me just drop Kian off at home, and I'll take Kian home, and then probably take a shower and head on over to Ghlomus.
Okay, Ghlomus and Marcy are chatting, and Ghlomus looks at you, and he's like, "Oh, Marcy, I forgot to mention, you probably want this." And I'm dropping this in our chat right now. He gives you this.
Just a Kimber.
And so I want to give you guys the opportunity to read this.
Oh, I see why it was like that. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, for the listeners, Dan has created this like day by day kind of entries. Let's say like May 15th, May 20th, June 3rd, and then it has a bunch of different stuff written.
Yeah, and so Ghlomus says, I managed to translate this.
May 15th. I've translated the Grimoire of Georges Monty, a French occultist. I believe I have discovered what he was able to summon. The ritual appears grueling, but the power is beyond imagination. I write this with trembling hands, fearful of what may come. I will summon what I can, but must find a place to deploy the maw.
I guess I'll go next. May 20th. I've begun testing the maw's capabilities. Its flesh writhes and pulsates with an unworldly life. The sound it makes, I'll never forget them.
June 3rd. Breakthrough. The maw can create perfect duplicates of living beings. The process is simple, yet horrifying. Preparing the offering, reciting the verse of consumption, feeding the subject to the maw, and then waiting for 1 to 10 hours before a duplicate emerges. There's a catch. Sometimes the duplicate isn't of the original subject, but of me. Is this the maw's way of ensuring my immortality? And if so, why am I still here? Did what I give the maw suffice?
June 15th. The black ichor the maw produces is fascinating. When refined properly, it creates a substance more potent than any earthly drug. My initial tests show it can be mixed with common narcotics to enhance their effects exponentially. The next section is heavily encrypted with only fragments decipherable. Saps life force, addictive beyond measure. Potential for profit is enormous.
July 2nd. I've discovered more uses for the maw. Divination. The flesh wall sometimes shows visions of other places, times, or dimensions. Travel. I believe it might be possible to use it as a portal, though I haven't dared yet try. And communication. It can transmit thoughts across vast distances to those attuned to it. Alright. I don't like this.
July 19th. This entry is written in a shaky hand. Parts of it are smeared. Nothing can be translated except apropinquat, repeated 21 times.
Yeah, that's APPROPNPINQAT. Apropinquat. August 5th, remarkable discovery. The maw can revive the dead or heal the gravely ill. The process is similar to cloning. You feed the person to the maw, recite the verse of renewal, and wait for 1 to 10 hours. The subject returns fully healed or revived. However, there's still a chance they may come back as me. Is this a blessing or a curse?
September 17th. I've unlocked the secret to weather manipulation through the maw. It requires a gruesome price. Harvest a specific organ from a living subject, feed the organ to the maw, anchor the donor to a specific location using their blood and hair, or their body if possible, recite the verse of Tempest. See page 78 of the Grimoire.
Oh, fuck.
Different organs yield different weather phenomena. Spleen, hurricane, heart, thunderstorm, liver, drought, lungs, blizzard. The ethical implications are troubling, but the power is undeniable.
October 31st. I am no longer alone in my work with the maw. I become aware of entities I call Nyarlathotep, servitor spirits of the maw. They attach themselves to frequent users of the maw's power. Their whispers are maddening, yet seductive. They promise knowledge, power, pleasure beyond mortal understanding.
November 15th. The handwriting is erratic. This page stained with unknown substances. The maw's influences grow stronger every day. I find myself craving sensations and experiences that would have horrified me mere months ago. The pleasure, the pain, it's all blurring together. The Nyarlathotep urge me towards greater and greater extremes. I fear I'm losing myself, but I can't stop. The power, the ecstasy, it's worth any price. I have relocated it to the Riverbend Blues Lounge at the request of the man who brought me George Monte's Grimoire.
December 3rd. The handwriting is steadier, as if the writer has found a new purpose. I've uncovered the true extent of the maw's potential. Its powers go beyond what I initially believed. 1. Reality warping. In areas of high magical concentration, the maw can bend the fabric of reality itself. Objects can be transmuted, laws of physics altered. 2. Dimensional rifts. The maw can tear open gateways to other dimensions, allowing travel or summoning of entities from beyond. 3. Time manipulation. Under specific circumstances, the maw has shown the ability to create localized time distortions. Further research is needed. 4. Psychic amplification. Those who commune with the maw find their psychic abilities greatly enhanced, sometimes manifesting new powers altogether. 5. Magical siphoning. The maw can absorb and store magical energy from its surroundings to be used later for various purposes.
December 10th. Ezra has told me about who he works for. They know about the maw. At first I was terrified, but their knowledge, it's vast. They speak of a place called Carrefour, a town of immense magical potential. They claim that if the maw were to be summoned there, its powers would increase exponentially.
December 15th. This writing is excited, almost feverish. Carrefour sits atop a convergence of ley lines, channels of magical energy that crisscross the earth, but it's more than that. The town is built upon a nexus ethereum, a point where ley lines connect across different planes of existence. The magical possibilities are staggering. Something yet protects it, but the maw could be the secret to breaking whatever defense is there. We have a few candidates. The group believes that by summoning the maw in Carrefour, we could create a permanent portal to other dimensions, manipulate reality on a massive scale, or potentially ascend to a higher plane of existence.
December 20th. I now understand why they sought me out. They needed someone to perform the initial summoning, to bear the brunt of the maw's influence. I was their experiment, their precursor. But I'm not angry. I'm excited. The power we could wield in Carrefour, it's beyond imagining. The maw could reshape the world, tear down the barriers between dimensions. We could become gods.
December 22nd. The writing is shaky again, but determined. Preparations are underway. I've begun compiling notes for the enhanced summoning ritual. It will require more sacrifices, more power. The Nexus Ethereum will amplify everything. Our power, but also the dangers. The Nyarlathotep whisper of even greater entities that might take notice of our work. They speak of beings beyond comprehension, of cosmic forces that could be unleashed. But we can't stop now. The potential is too great. Whatever the cost, whatever dangers we face, we must press on. The Maw of Abaddon will open in Carrefour, and reality itself will tremble.
December 25th. The maw is growing beyond my control. It whispers to me constantly now. I fear I've made a terrible mistake. If anyone finds this journal, beware the untranslatable symbols. The price of power is too high. I must find a way to... And then it says untranslatable symbols.
And so as y'all have gathered around Ghlomus reading this, Marcy and Joel, imagine. I don't know if Marcy left or what, but Ghlomus stands and he says, as I translated this, I mentioned that I don't remember much of my time as a human, but when I read that name, I remembered who I am.
He's been in his human form this whole time, and he says,
I am George Monty.
Yeah, all right. That lines up.
God.
Of course, this was all the journal of Tony Black and his notes on
Yeah.
the translation.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so the maw caused the hurricane. Looks like they figured out.
That also explains the missing spleen.
Yep. What about the tornado with the thunderstorm?
Nyarlathotep,
Yeah.
I presume.
So that means he was killed at least the day of, if not before, the hurricane.
The metal shard Cyril found, though,
what about it?
Yeah, what is it?
it's not accounted for.
Sure isn't.
Yeah,
It's true.
Not accounted for yet, is what I
So-
think you meant to say.
right. So are they trying to open the maw here in town? Because it says time distortion.
That's what it seems.
You know, is that reality warping? Is that what we're doing? Is that what's happening currently?
Well, you don't think that they managed to open the maw in here, so anything that's happening now probably isn't related to that, but it could be.
To be fair, I'm not there, so
Yeah. But, I mean, if you want to, I imagine y'all all could be looped in. Maybe Ghlomus, once Joel was coming over, he texted you and was like, "Hey, everyone's going to be here. So for convenience, would you mind coming?"
okay, sure. No, I'm good. I'm home.
No, I've got eggs
I'm
with
gonna
shell
stay
to
home.
eat.
I got 5 spicy burritos to eat. No, he'll make his way out there.
I plan on having diarrhea tonight.
I am making a plan.
I really need a cleanse.
I'm sorry, I plan on blowing my guts out my ass
I'm in for the night.
all day.
I need a reverse
Man,
enema.
have you heard of a prolapse?
Oh no. Yeah, but we can
Yeah,
use
Cyril will make his way out there then.
for story reasons. It makes sense for you to be there anyway, so there's no reason
Okay.
to not have you there.
God is saying, go to the manor.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, he transforms into his human form, and he is George Monty.
What else do you remember about yourself now?
I only remember bits and pieces. This guy's he's a real figure, but he's an incredibly obscure historical figure.
What?
Took me forever to find someone who made sense in all of this.
You went back in time and incepted a real historical figure for your Delta Green game?
Yep, pretty much. He's also known.
That's amazing.
Crazy thing about this is he's our culpa.
Yeah.
He's art.
Why isn't this page? I can only find a reference to him on the German Wikipedia. Also known as Count Marcus Vela or Count Israel Monty.
Okay.
I found an Instagram account called George Monty.
I found that one too.
I had a picture of him.
Something tells me, unrelated.
I don't think that's him. Can I say that? I don't think that's him.
Crazy Ghlomus has an Insta now. That's insane.
I didn't program that on his.
Yeah, I didn't download that either.
That was his whole grimoire. It was just his Instagram account.
At not George Monty.
Yeah, the only like English reference I can find to this guy is on a different occultist's Wikipedia,
God.
where it says that this guy had claimed that he knew this French Freemason occultist George Monty, also known as Comte Israel Monty, and Marcus Vela. That's all I know about him. I found one picture of him at one point, and I thought I shared it with the group. I might, if I've ever shared a picture of Ghlomus, that's what it is.
I don't remember.
We've just seen the ghoul form of Ghlomus, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Real dog face hours.
Well, anyways, real dude. I'm going to be searching for this guy for forever. I can't find this picture again.
Yeah.
So do you remember writing your grimoire?
I don't remember any of... I remember who I was. I remember being taught by a man named Crowley.
Oh, you
God
son of a bitch.
damn
I
it.
have no memory of them all.
Mr. Crown.
But if what he's saying is true, then I am the one who wrote this and maybe even summoned him first.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, what you were able to summon is what it says here. I mean, we saw them all, right? We know. I mean, I was waist deep in it.
At first glance, the maw seems like it is a thing they have to move around. I don't know if there's multiple, but it sounds like they're making openings. Oh.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, yeah, they can make openings, but it sounds like they can raise this thing again, maybe.
Yeah.
But it works imperfectly. Like, that's the thing that I find interesting. Like, clearly this is Tony Black, but sometimes it makes duplicates of him, and other times it doesn't. It makes perfect duplicates, or it makes him again. Like,
Whatever that entry that's written 21 times... Does it look like 21 is significant, or just like that the pin broke?
Ooh, it doesn't look like the pen broke.
Okay. Or did they run out of space, or was it just like, I needed to write this 21 times, not 22, not 20?
Seems like they wrote it a specific number of times.
Okay. Counterpoint. I need to see something. 12 letters, 21 times.
I mean, it means...
I'm diving too deep.
I mean, just from a quick Google search here, it just means it's approaching. Is approaching. It's some sort of Latin, English, third-person singular present, active, indicative.
That would mean the translation is it approaches.
It approaches.
Yeah.
Or he was jorking it as he was writing.
Yeah.
He tried sticking his thing into the maw, and he was like, "Oh, this is the good
Yeah,
shit."
that's approaching.
JD Vance, no, that's not a couch.
That's true.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I was trying to figure that out because like that looks like approach, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going appropriate.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
It approaches.
making an appropriate copy of someone, but approaching makes more sense.
What's it?
God damn it.
All right. Well,
Because the mall's already here by the time he's writing that.
what do you know about these Nyarlathotep Ghlomus? What do you know about them?
I am aware vaguely of these spirits. They are somewhat trickster spirits. They appear to attach themselves to more powerful entities, perhaps as, like you said, to serve. It's possible that they exist only to stir things up and become more chaotic.
Marcy has flashbacks to Joel breakdancing in the foyer of the sheriff's house.
Yes, that seems exactly what I would be referencing. That sort of thing. And if the chief had used it frequently, it's possible that they attached themselves to him
I think we need to get a hold of your old book there, Ghlomus. Or George. Which one would you prefer?
I've been Ghlomus for so long. I would prefer you called me Big G. I mean, Ghlomus.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Okay.
Dennis Rod.
It really warmed up to him after a while.
Rodmeister?
Can you just call me Rod?
The worm?
The Rodmeister General.
Well, it seems like Tony Black summoned it. I wonder. He summoned it and then he relocated it to the Riverbend Blues Lounge. So he summoned it somewhere else.
Yes, it appears.
Did he summon it? Do you think he might have summoned it out in that copse of trees? Harvest the organ, feed the organ to the mall.
No, I think if you read again, he summoned it one place and then he moved it to the Riverbend Blues Lounge.
Right, that's what I'm reading.
Yeah. So I think he just summoned it where you ran into it. So I don't understand what your confusion is.
It says he moves it. He moves the mall from one place to another.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where the first place he was that summoned it.
No, it looks like he didn't say in any of his notes. It might have been his house.
At my backyard barbecue.
Like at his house? Oh, that's why I was wondering that field we went out to.
Oh, yeah. Well, that seems to be where they sacrificed.
For the organ.
Yeah.
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 So I suppose I don't know. I don't know exactly the nature of how the maw needs to be summoned or to what surface it might need to be summoned, but it's possible. But
okay.
That seems close enough to Carrefour that it would have already been under the, magical protections.
Yeah.
Or close enough to them.
The thing that disturbs me is it says that the maw needs living subjects to create perfect duplicates. But
Yeah.
we still saw Babineau's face in the wall. So I think just any amount of your flesh being consumed by it puts you in there.
That seems to be the case.
But it won't be able to duplicate it. So then I think the body that we found was his original body. I don't think that was a duplicate. Unless, no, he could have been fed to it before, and then they used the duplicate spleen? That doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for them to do that.
This is Noah. I need to go back and listen to the old Maw ep, where when we killed one of them, I thought Dan maybe offhandedly said, like, his face disappears from the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't the sheriff disappear? Yeah.
So then wouldn't that imply a Babineau is still out there?
You don't know.
I mean, we saw Antoine, right?
An Antoine.
He was in hell.
You saw Antoine's face, and you saw that he was being tortured in hell.
Right.
And you saw that, from what you know, he wasn't submitted to the wall to be duplicated. You don't have any evidence that he was
a sacrifice.
He was just a sacrifice. So you don't know. The wall works in mysterious ways.
As do most.
Do you have to kill the original? Is it just when all the copies are killed that the faces go?
Yeah, we don't have all the answers. You're right.
Yes. If we get my
we need your
grimoire,
yeah,
then
we need page 78 of your grimoire to be exact.
Yeah.
With the verse of Tempest.
Those untranslatable symbols.
Yes, I was not able to translate them. They are not Enochian.
What do they look like?
It's almost like
It's just it's a Chuck E. Cheese token.
cuneiform.
Okay.
God.
Well, okay. Did we correct me if I'm wrong? So Tony Black, right, wrote all this.
Mm-hmm.
Have we, other than seeing a copy of Tony Black, have we ever seen the real Tony Black?
You don't know.
Will the real Tony Black please stand up?
We don't know.
Please stand up.
Yeah.
He was there with the sheriff.
Marcus Johnson was in the body of Tony Black, right? You saw a Tony Black in the kitchen, too.
Right.
So maybe that was the original Tony Black. You don't know.
Drop and soup.
Okay. I also don't like that he does all of this. Tony Black does all of this And then it says here, Ezra comes along and basically just tells him how it works. It told him who he works for, and they know all about the Maw. So he just like Ezra is like, I don't know.
You know, in hindsight, we kind of did to him what Ezra did to him, and I feel bad.
I don't feel bad about that.
Fuck him.
I feel a little bad.
Also, the group knows about the Maw, but it doesn't necessarily imply that they were revealing more information to him.
Okay.
It was more, they know about the Maw, but they have knowledge that they can share with me. Right.
Right. Got
So
it.
not necessarily about the Maw, but other things, possibly.
We have the perfect summer home for your Maw. And it's right smack dab in Carrefour. Hey, have we tied the Jeep little thing to the candy company yet? It's never going to come up. We're never going to go to the fucking candy.
There's no better place to hide a flesh-eating wall than in a candy company.
Yeah.
Let's go have a Wonka experience.
Wow, that's part of the candy factory. Actually, just makes the black ooze into
maybe.
perfect hard candy for kids to eat.
We actually built the factory around it.
Yeah, it's our the Icor pool.
Oh shit!
The Ico pool.
It sounds like we need to find and get in touch with Ezra.
Yeah, maybe, but that's no. We're taking our lives in our hands doing that. He's probably pissed.
Well, either that or we sit here with our dicks in our hands and do nothing.
Well, I would do other things with my dick in my hand.
I don't have one, Marcy says.
Our proverbial dick, Marcy.
Oh, got it.
Your etheric dick, if you will.
My dick ethereum.
My dick etheria.
Spirit. Coccus etheria, if you will.
That's my favorite Warhammer troop.
I would say that as you guys are all talking, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what all your alertness is, but it's all high enough because you all notice that Ghlomus is in his human form and he is looking really, really down, bummed out, even. But y'all can continue to do whatever you want with that.
Fuck you, Ghlomus. This isn't about you right now, man. We're onto something big. Marcy would not say that. She would not say that.
Fuck your depression.
Does finding out who you were not make you happy?
It brings some relief to have a knowledge, but if I'm the one who discovered how to summon this, what does that say about me? All the things that it can do, these aren't good things. Does this mean I'm not a good person?
People can change. You've done a lot to help this town in your own way. I can't give you atonement, and that is just something you have to seek out for yourself. And I feel like you're kind of doing that already. So you're making steps in the right direction. I'm not a therapist, but that
perhaps so.
seems...
Whatever protection I can give this town it's a small tribute, I suppose. Eking my way back from whatever karmic debt I've put myself into from discovering this.
When we asked you for help, so many times, you help. You helped us save a child from some spirit's possession that looks to see her. Is it still in that thing?
Mm-hmm. Don't you understand, Marcy? It's a basic principle of magic. Don't call up what you cannot put down. Don't summon what you cannot banish. And now that I created this thing, and now my grimoire is out in the world, so that any fool can pick it up and manage to cause this pain and havoc, trapping these people. You saw where Antoine is. You know good and well what that means for a person. Who knows how many people I've consigned to this fate. You don't understand.
And you feel guilty about it.
And when you say that, his head momentarily turns more into the ghoul head, and he yells and he says, "Oh, I feel angry."
And you want to put things right.
I don't know that I ever can put things right, but I will do what is in my power.
That sounds like what a good man would say.
And he nods and continues brooding.
Well, ultimately, Ghlomus, one way we can figure this out is you help us find this grimoire of yours.
I will do what I can. And I think we kind of zoom out from there, just sort of go into like a satellite view of Carrefour where people have streamed out of the church. There's a handful of people who are enjoying the park that's in the middle of the town, this sort of island in the middle of the town that the city hall and the museum are on. There's a big old park in the middle, so it's a beautiful Sunday. The weather is great, and even the pastor and the new guest pastor are out enjoying a little walk around. There's a fountain in the middle of town, and you see them sort of chatting excitedly. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.